There's an Omniscience. That's a card. We are a land short of that, though.
Today on Commander Replay, we check out the most savage Imoti and find out if we can cast our entire library. Next on Commander Replay. Help support me and save 15% on singles by using the promo code REPLAY at mothershipaTX.com. Commander Replay t-shirts, available in orange and colors beside orange.
Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Imoti Celebrant of Bounty today, and today's deck list comes to us from Patreon supporter DJ. Take a look at this opener. It's interesting. We've got 3 lands. We've got a Survival of the Fittest, which can get us to like a ramp creature, so I think I like that. This also ramps as well. I think that works. Let's keep. Imoti can be very strong. I remember after it first came out, I was playing with Austin from Commander 99 on a video or a stream or something. He had a budget Imoti deck, and it's just dumb. Like, he cast half of his deck by, like, turn 6 or 7. It's insane what this thing can do. It's definitely a little bit glass cannon-y because you need to have your commander in play. And as a 3-1, it dies to just about everything. But time and time again, Cascade in the command zone has been incredibly powerful and, like, kind of problematic, honestly. Most of the commanders that have Cascade on them have been absolute nightmares to deal with, going all the way back to Maelstrom Wanderer. Anyway, that brings it to our turn 1. We draw a Selvala. That will probably get us going a lot quicker. Play the Windswept Teeth, crack the Windswept Teeth. We'll get the Rimewood Falls. I did change the mana base in this deck just a little bit. It was like mostly basics, so added a few duels and fetches and stuff just to up our consistency so we don't get color screwed or anything like that. There are 5 legendary creatures in the game that have Cascade: Averna, Imoti, Maelstrom Wanderer, the First Sliver, and Yidris. And the only one on that list that isn't completely busted is Averna. It's still very good, but the other 4 on that list are all insane and have been very dominant at one point or another. So yeah, Cascade in the command zone, not my favorite thing. Hope they avoid it in the future. Anyway, that brings it back to our turn. There's a Yavimaya, Cradle of the Sun. We're going to wait on that. It does slow the game down, just like Urborg does. But we will play this land and get this Survival of the Fittest. Here's a card I haven't used in a while. This is a legitimately cool card that allows you to do some crazy stuff. I was fortunate enough to buy one in paper for, I think, $40 10 years ago. Kind of wish I bought a few hundred of them, along with most other reserve list cards, but I am happy that I have one in my collection, and you get to do some silly things with Survival of the Fittest. It is a legitimately cool card. You can use it to do broken stuff if you want to. That's not usually what I'm after. Usually I'm just like trying to find some random creature that enables the deck to do something wacky, but probably a Marius Shepherd. Usually just a Marius Shepherd. Opponent's gonna drop a Sylvan Library. No fast mana out of our opponents yet. Love that. Love that. Selesnya Signet. Speaking of busted cards, Selvala Heart of the Wilds is a card that I have no love for. It is entirely too powerful. Basically, if you add this and Bloom Tender to my tap creature tribal deck, it goes from like a turn 8 or 9 deck to a turn 5 or 6 deck. It literally speeds it up 4 turns. It's so insane. Used to be a CEDH deck with it. I don't know if it's still there. I think Paradox Engine was a thing that deck wanted, but it's still incredibly strong. Just you can put 9 drops in on like turn 3. Yep, there's the swords on the Selvala. Opponent doesn't want to deal with that. Recognizing the power of Selvala. That's unfortunate in that it will slow us down. Probably activate the Survival this turn. See if we can find Mana Dork or something. Take a peek at the deck. Probably easier to look at it by mana cost. We can get like this Gyre Engineer. Seems very solid. Landmore Tribe, also not terrible. Opponent cracks a Myriad Landscape. Celestial Unicorn in for opponent. Brings it back to our turn. There's an Apex Devastator, silly card. Play the Yavimaya, activate the Survival of the Fittest. We're going to discard the Aggressive Mammoth, and then we're going to get Llanowar Tribe, cast Llanowar Tribe, and we'll pass like that. So taking a look at our commander, Imoti Celebrant of Bounty, 5 mana for a 3-1, has Cascade. Oh, that was a Decimate. And spells you cast with mana value 6 or greater have Cascade. Pretty ridiculous. At least they didn't shoot our land. Oh, they gotta hit a Cradle over there. Decimate is a super nasty card. No love for Decimate. Now we kind of have to, like, we're living off the top looking for a land. It's not the best. Sylvan Library. Also hit the Survival of the Fittest. Not ideal. That's kind of what you can use to fix stuff. Urban Evolution. I'm jealous. Draws 3 cards. May play an additional land. All of our ramp, unfortunately, has been shot this game. I think Fish is playing control with Child of Alara, and probably not in for a great time now that it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get through this super quickly. I think this deck just wants to race. I think that's what it wants to do. And not worry about going to the late game. I don't know that it has like a lot of tools to solve problems. I think it's literally just slam creatures until everyone's dead. There's a land. Okay, we're not dead in the water yet. So if we crack that, that'll get us to land number 6. So the problem is that if we cast our commander right now, we don't have a follow-up play for next turn. So yeah, I think just crack this land. Get an island and a forest. The other thing too is that we can just keep working towards Apex Devastator, and like, that's gonna get something into play. Garth the One-Eyed coming in. Also not great. More removal.
Is it about my eye?
Sort of.
Just ask the question.
What's with the eye?
Sylvan Library for opponent. Ugh, I'm jealous about that library. We could really use a look at the top. Rearrange some stuff. Draw some cards. Thran Dynamo for opponent. Commander's Sphere. Vizier of Many Faces. Not great. Hope Sean drops a board wipe. He doesn't have a ton of mana though, so probably not. He'll land number 4 for him, but he is 1 behind the turn count. Smothering Tithe. Well, at least that should like soak up some focus from opponents. He's gonna send it our way, yep. We'll take 3. There's an Omniscience. That's a card. We are a land short of that, though. No, we're not going to pay. No, we're more than a land short. We are a few lands short of that. Let's get our commander in. I don't know that it's going to survive very long, given how everything's gone thus far. Oh, it cascades one time. That's cool. That does help. Migration Path is fantastically helpful. Get an island and a forest, and now I think we're actually in pretty good shape because we are not that far away from that Omniscience. And we'll definitely be able to make some stuff happen with that. We're on 8 mana. We need 2 more for Omniscience. It is 10. Card I really haven't used very much, but it is a card that I absolutely hate when it comes down onto the board. It's just super annoying. Because, like, they're going to win the game, but it also takes them 20 more minutes to do it. So, usually if it's down, you just scoop. But Fish is going to activate Garth and disenchant the Smothering Tithe, I assume. Yep, I'm sure that'll make Sean real happy.
By the way, make sure to like and subscribe.
The question I'm having is, do we go for the Beacon of Tomorrow first? Because that'll get us a Cascade, and like if we hit another good ramp spell, then we're probably into the Omniscience, and if we're into the Omniscience, we probably win. Unless this Garth is untapped with 2 mana, which could actually be an issue for us. We should take a look at what our opponents are playing, though. So first up is Fish Said Fish, piloting Child of Alara. Does look like they're doing the control thing. Not a commander that I particularly enjoy facing, because it just says no one gets to have permanents ever. And, you know, that's exactly the reason you sign up to play Commander, to not have permanents. Opponent's going to activate that Garth, sure. In the middle, we've got Delta Fiend piloting Morrit of the Frost. I don't think I've seen this one. 5 mana, 0/0 Changeling. Enters the battlefield as a copy of any permanent you control except its legendary and snow in addition to its other types, and if it's a creature, it enters with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it and has Changeling. Interesting. Opponent's going to Brain Geyser themselves, so looking to get some card draw going. Assuming they want to go for. The good news is that does tap out the Garth, so if we do the Beacon of Tomorrows and then hit the right way on the Omniscience, we're in a real good spot. I think it was X4 on the Brain Geyser. Identity Thief. Is this like Clone Tribal or something? Our final opponent, by the way, is Sean piloting Lathiel the Bounteous Dawn. Pretty powerful deck, except he's not having a great time with the mana. If you don't have good mana production, then, you know, it's hard to do stuff, but if he does get permanents in play, assuming Fish doesn't blow them all up, his team will get huge, is what happens. You just have a bunch of giant creatures, and at some point they just become, like, impossible to deal with. You know, they get out of Blasphemous Act range and stuff like that. That's been an issue that's come up in the past. Lathiel, into play. Yep, does hit his land drop this turn. I wouldn't mind seeing a land off the top here. Roiling Regrowth, sacrifice a land, search your library for 2 basic lands. Put them onto the battlefield tapped. It's a ramp spell. Yeah, it's Beacon of Tomorrows. Targeting ourselves. We'll Cascade. It's a... Ooh, Nissa's Renewal. Yeah, Nissa's Renewal. Perfect. Volo, Guide to Monsters. We have just shot very far ahead. Was it 3 basic lands? 3 basic lands. Opponents all have blockers, not going to attack anywhere. Imoti is not an attacking creature. That's a Nezelhal. I think we start with this Omniscience. Is this all of our mana? 1 left. It'll Cascade into a Thrix, sure. Now our big stuff can't be countered? Yeah, love it. What's Volo do? Copy that spell. Cool. double the Thrix. Let's keep the original. Let's get the old Apex Devastator. If we copy the spell, when you cast this spell, I don't think copying Apex Devastator would work the way we want it to with the Cascade, is my feeling. But we're going to cast it anyway. Cast with Omniscience. We will get a lot of Cascade. There's the Volo trigger. There's another Apex Devastator. And here's all the Cascade triggers. First one is Ponder. Not terrible. Take a look at what's coming. Dig Through Time, Teamer, Sabertooth. I don't know that we need the Sabertooth. I'm sure it's part of a combo, because it usually is, but... Oh. Yeah, no, just leave it all on top, because Teamer, Sabertooth, the Apex Devastator, and then... Although we don't have a ton of mana to our name, but... we can figure it out. Let's put that there, and then put the Dig Through Time on top. Shuffle. No. We draw the Dig Through Time. We Cascade into the Sabertooth. Volo triggers. Another Sabertooth. Elder Gargaroth is a magic card. We are going to need to find some haste. We've got all the big baddies now. Just need some haste. Cultivate. Farseek. Apex Devastator. Dig Through Time. Cascade. Elvish Aberration. It cascades into Fierce Empath. Sure. Man, this deck is dumb. Use the Fierce Empath ability. Ooh, can we get like Decimator or someone like that on top? Let's get Endray's Forerunners to give all our stuff. Creatures you control get Vigilance and Trample. That's not the one we need. We need Haste. Trample, Haste. Tramples over Planeswalkers. Has Hexproof. Well, this is pretty disappointing. There's not a lot of haste here to Vigilance, Trample, Haste. I mean, I think we get the Endray's Forerunners. What's this thing do? Permanents have Hexproof. I guess the other thing to do would be do some Coma stuff. Get the Endray's Forerunners. Treasure Cruise, Springbloom Druid, Pathrazer of Ulamog. Now let's get Treasure Cruise, and I guess Pathrazer of Ulamog? The cards on the bottom of the library, any order is fine. Play a land. Play Treasure Cruise. Look for that turn spell. Cast this creature. Ooh, Shamanic Revelation is how we get to where we want to go. Okay. Cast this. We'll interpret the signs. That'll cascade into a Kodama's Reach. Scry 3. Yeah, just go all bottom. Oh, there's the Beacon of Tomorrows. That's the one we're looking for. Keep the original Nezzel Hall. And we will Beacon of Tomorrows, cast with Omniscience, target ourselves. Fishhead point out to the viewers that this was through removal. Yeah, our first two ramp plays were denied. Like, we played two very good ramp creatures, and both of them died. Survival went down. We're still doing this. It's turn 8, which isn't, like, super early, but yeah, just cast every card in our deck. Two opponent scoop. Yeah, I told them it's okay to scoop at this point. We have an extra turn lined up. There's a Agora Claw. Cast Agora Claw, Volo, and Fish Scoops right there, yeah. Yeah. Imoti is incredibly strong.
So as a quick side note, it was actually only turn 6. It was showing turn 8 because of the way MTGO handles extra turn spells, but our opponents only actually had 6 turns.
As I said, all of the commanders with Cascade on them are immensely powerful. Imoti is no exception. And like Simic in general is also really strong. But this just kind of takes it to another level. It's like, okay, did you untap with Imoti? Cool, I'm just going to cast my entire deck. And that's more or less what we did. I do like the Beacon of Tomorrows in there because, yeah, we just need that one extra turn. And then we're good to go. And the fact that it shuffles back in means that you can, like, continuously go get it. If you wanted to be really savage, I mean, this deck is already pretty savage, but what's that one? Nexus of Fate is another one that you could run. Same idea if you wanted to double up on that, but probably not entirely necessary. Just something to think about. My only question with the deck is there enough stuff at the lower portion of the curve to routinely get to Imoti and your 6 drops on time? I have seen them pilot this deck against me 1 or 2 times and had pretty much the same experience that we had here, but even quicker. Like, in the sense that, like, whenever I played them, I didn't have the removal for the Self-Ala, like Fish did in this instance, so, you know, everything happened 2 turns quicker. Yeah, this deck it's insane. It's really powerful. It's the type of commander that I don't particularly enjoy. It's this deck feels very solitaire. Basically, you're just like, oh, just cast a card, cast a card, cast a card, cast a card. Eventually I'll kill you guys. Keep casting cards, cast more cards. And you know, there's not like a ton of removal in the deck, so it's not really looking to like answer stuff that opponents are doing. Probably doesn't have like tons and tons of utility about it. There are some pretty good green creatures that do cover a lot of bases, but yeah, it just does a lot. I don't really know what else to say about it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have one new Patreon supporter in Martin Bedster. Martin, you are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon in the link below.